voices are dying. The swirl of indecision that overcame you when you first awoke is now a quiet whisper on a stale wind. It's not that you've come to a better understanding of yourself. It's not that you've reached some sort of unification of your broken psyche. It's that through time or stress or sheer ambivalence of your situation, you can sense that your mind is dying. Nothing. All you can manage to do now is nothing. Without an objective, without counter-argument, you watch as the clone sneers and waves the dog towards one of the doors. Mr. Bultitude whimpers and whines and drags his feet, looking back at you several times. In all but word, he is begging you to intervene. And you choose nothing. Alice reaches a hand out towards Mr. Bultitude.
Hey,
She murmurs, her voice calm but firm.
it's okay.
She looks up at the blonde clone.
You want to be in charge?
She asks, her voice sharper now, laced with quiet defiance.
Fine. Don't pretend you're doing this because you have to. You're making a choice, just like you did in that game.
She stands, stepping slightly between the dog and the gun. Not enough to provoke, but enough to make it clear she wasn't just going to let this happen without resistance.
You want us to follow your rules? Then at least tell us what we're walking into. What kind of puzzles? What happens if we fail?
She's putting up a better fight than I am. Maybe she's right. Maybe together we can stand up against...
The clone rolls his eyes and fires twice into Alice. Blood splatters on the ground behind you, and you turn to catch her as she falls.
No, not again!
You hear the clone close the door with Mr. Bultitude on the other side.
I don't have time to worry about that.
You can sense you don't have time to worry about much of anything for long. Your mind is dying as surely as Alice is. Perhaps it simply could not continue under the prolonged stress. Perhaps an experiment such as yourself was doomed to fail from the start.
As long as I have breath, I have a chance. Come on, Alice.
You grab her under the arms in some frantic attempt to do something, anything, rather than just watch her bleed out a second time. You drag her into the room left to you. Inside, the room is stacked haphazardly with storage boxes and a large screen at the far end. A video begins playing.
One terminal tells only lies, and the other tells nothing.
You
but
grunt
the
and ignore the machine. There had to be something in here to stop the bleeding. Her green eyes flicker towards you as you search frantically for something to stabilize her condition. Her bloodied hand reaches out, weakly grasping at your wrist, her grip faint but desperate.
Don't waste time.
She rasped, her voice barely above a whisper.
Find something. Anything.
She coughs, and blood begins to drip from her mouth.
I don't want to die in here.
Tears burn in your eyes, obscuring your vision, and your throat tightens in rage and helplessness.
Isn't there anything I could do to save her?
The screen chimes and two answers appear, one on each side of the screen. Yes on the left and no on the right.
An answer? Does that mean this thing is responding to my questions in real time?
In desperation, you ask another question.
Where are the supplies to save Alice?
The screen remains unwavering in its response. It seems you were only granted one question, and you have already used it inadvertently.
Shit!
You yell in exasperation and slam your fist into the machine.
What do you want from me, huh? To give you hope? To watch me struggle on after I keep getting kicked in the face? Are you hoping I turned psychotic after you keep punishing me for trying to avoid hurting people?
You whip your head around and snarl with anger. Alice feels cold in your arms.
Don't think I didn't notice. You keep trying to make it so I have to hurt people to survive. You hoping I'll take that lesson to heart and start hurting them needlessly?
You close your eyes in a useless attempt to hold back your weeping. When you open them again, you see something amazing through the blur of tears. Something about the way you struck the panel has revealed a console command, a way to bypass the lockdown nature of the panel.
This thing is hooked up to the rest of the system somehow. How else could it feed me real-time answers?
Can you use this to your advantage?
I'm good with computers.
You say out loud as Alice's endless questioning of the skill comes flooding back.
I can use this. I can hack in and finally get the upper hand.
Your fingers move as if on instinct. It wasn't locked down too tight. You're pretty sure you're able to reach the main systems and get admin access. A final screen blocks your access to the necessary files. A simple request for such a precious reward. A password is required, and the prompt reads, "The name of my latest experiment, the man made from 17 individual minds." You grit your teeth in furious anger. The answer is right in front of you. You're certain. The voice inside you is screaming that it's right there, but you just can't see it. Alice lets out a pathetic moan as she slips into unconsciousness. It's now or never. Do or die. What is your name?